I wasn't planning on doing anything like this, but I just thought I'd make a very short video of this. This is the Epic One in 2.5 FAC. This one is my personal Epic One. I've been waiting quite a long time to get it, and I have to thank Regulator of Triple G for helping me get something like this. And ever since I've had it, I haven't had the chance to get out because of bad weather, and as you can see, terrible weather again today. But I just wanted to go over a few little things, and I finally managed to shoot it today. Weather conditions weren't on my side, but apart from that, we was getting some rather decent groups. I'll talk about a few little things now of what you actually get. When you get this, you don't get this rail here, and you don't get this top rail either. You don't get the digital gauge, or you don't get this grip either. Now, I don't want to go down the route of thinking, or people thinking that, well, if I spend this amount of money on a rifle, I don't want to have to buy accessories for it, and that's fine. This one is slightly different. This one is you buy the rifle and it will shoot. Not like any other particular manufacturer, which we all know about, and I'm not going to mention, where you buy it and then you have to buy accessories. This one, you don't have to buy accessories. Only reason I've got these is because I just wanted an extended rail, just no reason for it. But there is a Picatinny rail here, which you do get on something like an FX Impact or the BRK Ghost. So you can still attach your bipod just under here, but I've put this Arca rail on here so I can actually attach it on different parts here to my tripod, my Manbilly tripod. Digital gauge, I already had these at home. These are only £35 from, I think it was AliExpress, and they're just more accurate. Nothing wrong with the gauges which come with it, but we all know that digital gauges are more accurate, and I just stuck one on there. On the pressure gauge, I haven't changed that to a digital gauge, and that's because I don't fancy stripping this thing down right now, because that gauge is, to be honest, I'm not quite sure how to get it out, but it's in there, it works, it does what it needs to do. So that's your bottle pressure, and that's your regulator pressure. The top rail, they say that it stiffens the barrel, and to be honest, there's no real reason to stiffen this barrel because it's a solid barrel. It's stiff anyway. So you're probably wondering why have you got one of these? Only reason is, I'm just going to point out, just here, this is not pointing at my head, by the way, just so you know, and it's unloaded, there's no magazine in. This, I put this little tiny rail on here, and that is particularly when I'm going out shooting rabbits, this is where I attach my GoPro. That's the only reason I've got this rail. It's got nothing to do with making the barrel stiffer. It's just so I can attach this so I can actually record YouTube videos and record myself when I'm out shooting. That's the only reason I've got that. And it does look better as well when it does have this rail on. As you buy it, they're not the prettiest, shall we say, but I tend to go with, function over looks, which is why I want something like this. You notice that the butt here is in quite a unique position, but once you get behind it, works perfectly fine, still nice and comfortable. You don't have to start getting expensive butt stocks instead. It'll work as it should. I have no intention of replacing that because it is pretty comfortable. So yeah, they're the only reasons why I've changed these. So you don't have to buy that, you don't have to buy that, you don't have to buy that, you don't have to buy anything. They are optional. It won't improve the rifle because the rifle, as I've just found out, is actually shooting really, really well straight out of the box. On here, that is your regulator pressure adjustment. You do get a little tool with the Epic One, and you simply put it on there, turn in, increase pressure, turn out, decrease pressure. This is your regulator adjustment key, and like I've just said, that is very simple, just to insert into here and turn whichever way you need to turn it. At the back here is your hammer spring adjuster. Now there's a very good video from Epic, because these are slightly different to other hammer springs on other air rifles. There's a special type of valve in this, which I'm not going to touch, because I don't want to be spending all my time fine tuning. I want to set it and that's it. There is a sweet spot for each regulator pressure, which sounds obvious and it sounds like every other rifle, but you really need to watch the Epic tuning guide on that. I've left a link in the video description. When you watch it, you'll understand exactly what I mean. It's a very small sweet spot and then it works. So generally, up your reg pressure, turn your hammer spring in. Once it's there, it's very, very consistent, very reliable. So I really, really enjoy shooting that. This is your magazine, full metal construction, really strong magnets on there. And you take the magnetic cover off, rotate it, insert your pellet or slug, and then just fill up every single one. You've all used them, you all know how they work, and so far really reliable, and it's really, really solid. Something which really, really bugs me about bullpup rifles is the trigger, because inside they have a long linkage. Now when you get a long linkage, you either get sponginess or they're quite stiff. Now I've experienced that with a few other rifles, and that's why I was a little bit worried about getting this. But this trigger is absolutely fantastic. It's no joke. That is so predictable. You can set it to however soft you want. It's really nice to shoot, and that is something which I really, really like. This particular one is currently set at 150 bar. It's shooting 39 grain Wildman slugs at about 965, 970 feet per second. Now, to put that into perspective, my FX Impact was set at 150 bar and it was shooting about 965 feet per second with 39 grain Wildman slugs. However, the Impact was a 700mm barrel. This is 550mm. So it's actually shorter. So I can't imagine what it's going to be like with a 700mm barrel. So as far as I'm aware, this can generate more power. But my Impact was a Mark II, which was a power plenum. It wasn't the 720 power plenum, I think it was. Not quite sure, but nevertheless, this is producing quite a lot of power. So if you're looking to push some heavy slugs, it can certainly do that. That brings me on to the magazine as well. The magazine where you put your pellets or your slugs is really deep. So it's designed to take slugs and pellets, it'll take them just fine, but you can put some really long slugs in there. That's been taken into consideration. So when you are going to be shooting these heavy projectiles, the magazine can easily take them. As I said earlier, there's plenty and plenty of accessories which you can buy. If you don't like the tactical style look, you can actually get a wooden stock. Not sure if you can get it for the Epic 1, but you can get it for the Epic 2. They're now producing wooden stocks, so if you want a more traditional look. This, you'll notice, doesn't have a silencer on. I've tried it with a silencer and I've tried it without a silencer. There's not too much difference, and I'm trying to keep the length shorter because it's a 550mm barrel. This part here is actually your inbuilt silencer. I'm deciding not to shoot with a silencer. There's not too much difference. Plus I'm trying to just keep the length shorter, and I'm really happy with how quiet it is. Just coming back to the hammer spring here. Now I can turn this with my hand. Other people, you might need to get an Allen key, but it's really easy. It's really easy to move. But there's a ball bearing which goes into notches as you turn it. So as you turn it, it just clicks and it sits nice and comfortable. If you remove this hammer spring all the way out, just be very mindful. There is I think it is a 4mm ball bearing in there. Now, because there's no exploded diagram on this at the moment, but Epic are working on that, I don't know where screws, ball bearings, O-rings, or anything. I don't know anything about it. It's all new to me. I took this hammer spring out and a little tiny ball bearing dropped out, and that got stuck into the action. I did manage to get it out, but just be wary that if you ever plan on removing this hammer spring, there is a ball bearing which is going to fall out. So just be careful about that, because I nearly lost mine. The cheek piece on top can slide backwards and forwards, so you can actually position it pretty comfortable compared to where your scope is. And I think that is pretty much it. I haven't gone over too much stuff. I've done a little bit of target work just at 40 yards just to get an idea, and it was shooting most of the slugs that I put through it. It was shooting it pretty well. Lightest was 33 grain, heaviest was 44. Seemed to perform the best with the Wildman 44 grain slugs. I would have shot more, but one, the weather is absolutely awful, and two, I've only got about 15 slugs left in the Wildman 44 grain, so I need to get some more of them, and they're currently on the way. I just hope they hurry up. But yeah, hopefully this is just me with some first impressions with the Epic One. Really enjoy shooting this. I haven't taken it out hunting yet, but that's going to change in a couple of days, where I'm hoping to go get some squirrels, maybe some rabbits in the new year as well. Any questions, please let me know below. I'll try and answer them as best as I can. Cheers for watching, and I hope everybody buys an Epic soon, because this is a fantastic, solidly built rifle. I'm really looking forward to this year.